All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Train 'em Up Tuesdays. I apologize for the slow start, but we were just getting acquainted before we actually hit record. So now I'm going to share my screen. My name is Cynthia D. Williams, serving as the Train 'em Up Tuesdays for the District 18. I am the immediate past district director, and I am serving as the host today. So what I'm going to do is share my PowerPoint presentation and just do a recap. So we've already did Train 'em Up Tuesdays for two Tuesdays in the month of November already. We're moving into our third Tuesday, and we're going to end the first Tuesday in December. Train 'em Up Tuesdays is geared to and focused at all of the district leaders, past, present, and future. We're looking, targeting club presidents and club VPEs, and again, past and present district leaders. So let's move forward. Train 'em Up Tuesdays is doing the last hour of things that we've hit on our agenda. We took deep dives into the district management, the district structure, district leader roles and responsibilities, and now we are today touching on the responsibilities of the district and events. So events and recognition, if you will. We started off by asking the audience, how do you define leadership? I put up here the club mission and kind of pulled things out of that to let the audience tell us, what do they see? What word would they out of this message stay with that resonate with them to define leadership and to expand on it? We also did it with the district mission, asking what the difference was between the two. Again, do a recap, go through this. We do have this recorded, and I believe the district is going to put it on the District 18's website. So we got into leadership, and here we just shared other thoughts, other members of Toastmasters and or not, thoughts about leadership. Well, how do they define leadership? So I kind of let you gaze at that one. I'm going to move this over so I can see. Then we went on to the attributes of a leader. I asked the audience if they could define or relate to some of these listed here. And if they saw any or one that they related to, then consider yourself a leader. We talked about the benefits. We've talked about both the challenges and the rewards. This is truly a rewarding opportunity, but it does not come with challenges. I mean, and everything we do, walking out the front door is a challenge, but it's always rewarding when you can wake up and smell fresh breath of air, take a breath of fresh air. So motivating and coaching, delegating tasks, effecting, communicate. And then the main thing about benefits for leadership in the district is helping others grow. We went over the district management, talked about knowing your role, understanding your role. In order to lead someone, you need to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. We talked about that. We talked about the timeline for the district leadership, starting 1 July of 1 year, and then the following year it ends 30 June. And then we talked about what the significance of 1 September is. So Nora answered that. We're going to keep going because we want you guys to listen to the recording, since you're not here, to go back and find out what the significance of 1 September or after 1 September, what does that mean for district leadership? We talked about the resources for the district management. I mean, they have a plethora of resources, from governing documents, from Toastmasters International, just the learning atmosphere that they're in. The district mission can give them a resource to be able to take them further. The distinguished program and successor, yes, that is a resource as well. And you being the predecessor can also be a resource. We talked about the map of service to the members. Toastmasters is nothing without the foundation, and the foundation doesn't start up here. It starts with the members. The members have to build a club, and then the club build the areas, and so on. So we talked about the structure. We then went on to take a deeper dive in the structure, talking about how the district leadership is made up, and some of the things that we as a district may have overlooked and never took part in, which could very much help us in our district leadership, so it wouldn't be so cumbersome or so heavy weighted, if you will. We went on from the district to the clubs to the area, from the area to the district council. We talked about that in the structure, and we ended up bringing it all into one in the structure, talking about the district council, the district executive committee, who's on that and what the responsibilities was. Then on the 16th, we went on to take a deeper dive and we talked about the district leadership roles and responsibilities. Again, talking about the challenges and the rewards. We talked practical, we shared practical ideas and gave some scenarios and the audience responded. Then we went on to go into a deeper dive with each, giving everybody the responsibilities, the benefits, and also the requirement of each, from the area to the division to the EQD, club growth, and now the DD. Here we talked about the comparison, the correlation, if you will, of each. So if you look at your district leader, you can still see your district leader in your club leaders. So we shared that the president, if you look at the president of the club, how is that in the district? That would be the district director in the district leadership. All the way down to the vice president of public relations inside of club. We can correlate that to your district public relations manager. So wanted to show you that correlation there. We went on to talk about what you should consider going into district leadership. You can consider your family, your work, and your availability. And I dug deeper a little to give a little bit of each, and we talked about examples of what and why, and what to think about when you, and to consider when you take on, or want to take on, or aspire to take on district leadership. Then we went on to the 30th, which we had to postpone, so that brings us to today. Today's objective is to talk about the responsibilities and the events and recognition of the district. So that's what we're going to dive into and jump in right there. Before I start on this first slide, let me take a pause for the cause and ask the audience, because I did a lot of talking here doing a recap. Did you have anything that you wanted to or recollect from the last meeting, or from the last meeting until now, that something came up that you wanted to ask about before we jump into today's? Because we only have really 2 or 3 slides and we have a bit of time. Let me open up my box so I can see if I see hands or anything. Nora.
My hand's disappearing into So you're probably going to address this in your talk today, but it just popped into my head. The district incentives that they offer, is it the area director's responsibility to follow up with the district leaders about the sending of the incentives to the members, or is it automatically done? Do I need to keep track of that, what my clubs are doing and whether they're getting their incentives or not?
That's a great question. So thank you for the question. So that is, I'm going to be very, politically correct when I say it. It's of the district. It all depends on how the district leaders decide they want to do. That was something as an experience and an example. For me, that was a little tussle for me. For me, when I stepped in as a district leader, as a district director, I really wanted everyone to get a piece of responsibility, if you will, to be held accountable. And I always thought that it should be, I guess, in a small, I guess in lay words, not to step on anyone's toes. So I wanted to be able to relay the message as the district director to the district division directors. And I wanted the division directors to take that responsibility and hone in that accountability and share with their area directors. And then the area directors make sure that the club officers knew exactly what the messaging was. Again, everything is a lesson learned, but that was my view, that was my focus, and that was my sight, because I wanted everyone to take ownership in that, and I wanted everyone to, not only take ownership, but the second thing is to make sure you're having your council calls or your council meetings, because that's where you get the information. And I say it's a lesson learned because it was still a tussle. It was still like if the information wasn't getting down to the members who actually needed it.
Right. I've publicized the incentives at my council meetings.
Right.
And I've shared it with my council leaders. My concern is, do I need to follow up with the trio to make sure the incentives are being sent to the clubs? Or do I wait for the clubs to nag me? Hey, we haven't gotten our incentives yet. Where are they at? So how proactive should I be? Because I have sent a few little nagging reminders about, for example, the TLI gift certificates that clubs are supposed to get, because we haven't seen them yet. So I don't want this to be a, let's not bash the trio. They're not here, so we can talk about it. But no, I really want to understand how often should I follow up with the trio regarding things like this, or should I go to my division director first?
No, that's an excellent question. And I always say the fortune is in the follow-up. Nothing happens if you don't follow up, pretty much, because everyone's plate is full, right? So every time I meet with the trio, that's on my question until my question has been resolved. That's on my question list until my question's been resolved. At the end of the call, they're going to say, does anyone have anything else? Hey, by the way, I just wanted to check again on the incentives for the club officers. I know the clubs have not received it. One, have you sent it? Where are we? What's the status? So I would say that on every call I have with the trio, which is usually once a week or twice a month or quarterly. So until you get your answer resolved, because again, the club is going to start haggling you. So just to let them know you have a plan and action X every time until it gets done. So I would say every time you meet with them and have the opportunity to ask the question, I would ask the question.
Sure.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. All righty. Anything, Kathy?
To add to that, I think you also have to think of the timing. For example, the education awards, the monthly ones, it typically takes typically 2 months behind, because it takes time to order. It takes time to see who's been recognized. And then like for the TLI, you kind of have to wait until after the TLIs are done. And then the ordering process happens. So I would probably, depending upon when the timing of something ends, probably give it a month to 2 months for it to, to kind of look and see what's going on. If your clubs have received or members have received their awards.
Yes, thank you, Kathy. That is a great point as well. Always know your timeline on when they're supposed to come out as well. So when you ask the question, you're asking it intelligently in a timely manner. So that's great. Good point. All right. I see. Agna, do you have anything? Or we go ahead and press forward.
No, I just want to add that when I was a VPE on my club last year, whenever a member finished their path, they finish one, like level 1 and level 2, something like that. I always send them certificate for that. So that was encouraging.
That's a great point. So
Yeah.
While we're waiting, I would, as area director, share with my clubs, and I'm sure Nora have, maybe to incentivize internally until we get it as well. It's always good to hear from your peers that you did an excellent job, and Pathways makes it easy. Pathways makes it easy to have the certificates there that you can electronically send. Kathy Letmore, you're up.
And also, I would say everyone to check the district newsletter that comes out on a monthly basis. All the education awards are listed there. The trio this year has really made an effort to try and have all the members really recognized. So it's also in the district newsletter as well.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things, I think that newsletter is awesome. So yeah, if you keep your eyes open for that. That's a great read when it comes through your email via constant contact from District 18. All right, so let's jump into some of the Train Up Tuesdays district responsibilities. Kathy, you raising your hand or you're lowering your hand? Yeah, okay. So for the district responsibilities, one of the things I want to say when we jump into responsibilities and events, the second slide is events, is that the great thing about Toastmasters International, I tell everyone there, they don't hide anything. On this screen that I have, I'm actually took a screenshot of Toastmasters International. And if you look at the top where they have the search box after contact us, if you, whatever keyword, whatever key phrase you have, if you type it in there, hit that magnifying glass, it brings up so much stuff. It's so many pages and layers of Toastmasters International on their website, but it's so plentiful and everything you need is right at your fingertips. That's one thing I love about Toastmasters. So when anyone has a question, I can 100% know that incident, that event, that question, that answer is happened somewhere else in Toastmasters. So I can click it in there, type in the keyword, and it brings it up, and I can actually find the answer in all the resources that they have for us on Toastmasters International. I say that to say the district responsibilities are plentiful, and it's a full plate, it is, but you're not in it alone. You have Toastmasters International's website. In addition to that, you have everything that they put on there. You have who preceded you. You have district members who have been, and then district members who wish to be, or in another district leadership position. But you also have Toastmasters International contact us. They do questions and answers over the phone as well. So this is the thing about district responsibility. The main thing, if you don't walk away with anything else today, please know that when you step up to district leadership and you are taking on these responsibilities, you are not in it alone. One of the things I did want to point out for the district responsibilities is the district recognition. What I did on this presentation is actually put the links behind it. Again, it takes you wherever, but I just did the work. So one of the things we can do is I want to look at district recognition and see where it takes us. So when I click on that, tell me if you can still see the screen, or do I need to share my screen again? All right, what are you seeing? Are you seeing district recognition or still seeing the PowerPoint?
We're seeing the PowerPoint. Are you sharing your whole screen, or are you sharing just the PowerPoint?
Right, so I'm going in to do the new share now, so I can do the whole screen so you can see when it changes. How about now? Good. Okay, see here it's bobbing. So the district recognition program. So again, one of the things I just wanted to be I wanted to emphasize is that everything you need with your responsibility as a district leader is at your fingertips. So I clicked on, and we're talking about district recognition program, and everything that you need is in the district recognition program. Let me tell you the book number. Again, they have manuals for everything, and this one is 1490. And it will list out any and everything you need about the district recognition. One of the things they talk about is the foundation of success. And they share with you from the club level all the way up to the district level on what each entity needs to do in order to be a part of, first by saying, yes, I want to participate in a district recognition program. And what we all know that is the distinguished program. The district recognition program is a distinguished program. And again, at every level, from the club to the area, division, and all the way up to the district and beyond, there is a template or a set of criteria that each would have to go through in order to be a part or participate or be eligible for the district recognition program, which we know as the distinguished club or distinguished district, area, or division program. So that's one of the things I wanted to point out. One of the things I wanted to bring up too is to know that I'm going to make it a little easier, is that there's a program foundation. I mentioned that earlier. For the club level, we have what I call a report card. So that report card is just your distinguished club program printout, and that's in your club Central, where you can go in and pull that up as a club officer to see how your club is doing in education, in membership, in training, and administrative roles, which are the requirements within your district distinguished distinguished club program, tongue twisters. So just wanted to share that with you. But again, the district recognition program is at every level. Leadership training is another responsibility in the district of the district leaders. You say, okay, well, leadership training, what's that about? The district leadership is responsible for that the club members, all members within the district, have the proper training. So one of the things I wanted to mention about this is that so many people get training. When the district comes in, we have our new program quality director, and they're putting in place all the training and how they want to deliver it and how they want to spew it out. They set up the schedule. But a lot of people gripe about, oh, this is not a good day. That's not a good day. That's on my club night. My meeting is that night. I have school or whatever. But again, we are talking to 2,200 plus members that we're trying to put into training and make sure they get what they need in order to lead in their clubs. That leadership training is not just brought on by the district leadership. They too have to follow a criteria, if you will. So they are given a structure that they have to follow. And if you see the district leadership tools, they too can go to their site, click on training. And if you look under this, it gives you a list of things that have to be done. But they're talking about club officers training. So this is the district leader, whether it's an area director, the division director, the PQD, who actually oversees training in the district, is giving out information. But she's following a schedule because it's a schedule that was put forth before her by Toastmasters International. Just to show you that. And even if I go back one, I want to point out that she's not only following the schedule, but she now has to follow one more. She has to follow, let me go to training, show you this drop down again. She or he has to follow the material. She has to make sure that material, the mandatory material that's given to her, that has to go out to the district membership. So it's not like she's making up all of this on her own. She is actually following Toastmasters International's rules and regulations, policies and procedures in order to train the club officers in the district correctly. All right, so I'm going to pause for a second. District recognition or leadership training. Any questions about those?
Just a comment. I just noticed on that website, they have pre-district leader training.
Yes, so
I have not seen that. So Ekta, jump on that. Well, she can't see it, right? She can't see the district leader tools, can she?
Yes. So with this is wide open. So anyone, district or club member, can see the district leader tools.
Okay.
Yeah. So if people are prepping themselves, because I was just trying to remember, because I know when I was asked to be area director, I had no idea what it was. I actually went on to this to kind of find out what it was before I jumped into it. So yes, all of this is wide open to whomever wants to see it. You do not have to be a leader in order to see it. I didn't go through Leadership Central. I just went straight to district leaders.
So where should I go and look?
The easiest way I do is whatever you want to do. I typed in district leader. It gives you a list. I'm telling you, so much that comes up. So I typed in district leader.
Just district leader.
Yep. And it's going to give you more. But this district leader tools is on that list. I'm going to show you what the list looks like. And you can scroll up and down and through the pages to see.
We can't see the web page. We can't see
it didn't drop.
We're back on your PowerPoint. You could share. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm sharing the whole screen. I'm surprised it's not jumping when I jump. But go ahead, Kathy, you're up. Maybe it's slow.
Just wanted to mention that sometimes when you go into those district tools, they require you to sign in.
Yes, do let me say that. And that's with almost everything district. Yes, Kathy, you're right. So you do have to sign in, but you can still be a member and not a district leader in order to see it. Great point. Are these slides being shared? Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. I believe that's part of the recording as well. Okay, good questions, guys. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. So I'm changing over back. Did it change? Yeah. Okay. I think it's a delay on my part. So Toastmasters educational program is Pathways. The financial structure and process at the district leadership level. Of course, the finance manager with the DD, with the district director, they are in the financial structure process and processes all the time so they can stay on point. But that doesn't stop a club member or a district leader, area director, division director, club growth, PQ, what is the program, public relations manager, to go and see our financial responsibility or fiduciary responsibility as a district leader. So that's open for you to view as well. That's in there. Club growth and club and membership growth. That's key. Our goal in our mission is to grow clubs and bring about and build new clubs. So everyone needs to know about the club mission, club and membership growth. That's a huge part of our makeup, if you will. We want to continue to grow and we want to continue to exist in the district. So that's a huge part. Public relations and marketing. Again, another key point. A lot of people don't realize that we need to put ourselves out there as a district. Not that we are competing against each other, but we are. We're a district of 99 of 100 and something districts, and we are competing against the next district to get new members in, to grow our membership, to grow our district. So we want to stay in existence. So we need public relations and marketing to put us out there and let us know not only beyond our district, but within our district, what we're doing and who we are. So these are all responsibilities of the district leadership. Nora, you're up.
It's not a question, just an observation.
Mm-hmm.
Now that so many clubs are online and maybe even exploring hybrid, we're competing with everyone.
Everyone now, you are so right.
As long as you're in the time zone and you can attend, that's a potential club you can join. So we're competing with everyone.
Man, has time changed, really? Yes, that's serious. That is where we are today. Thank you, Nora. So these are some links on this slide that's available, and it will be available to all, just to kind of get you right into the meat of what it's talking about. But underneath there, I put Toastmasters International Home. And I put that because I put on this screen, just as the pictures, to show you that when you go to Toastmasters International Home, there are even more tabs across the top to take you where you need to be and want to go. Inside of district's responsibility, one of the main tools that they use is District Central. So you're familiar with, as a club member, Club Central. So we have District Central, and it brings up even more buttons to push, if you will, or windows to explore. Here, the distinguished program, the distinguished performance report. So your club performance report I talked about earlier, I call it the report card, is your report, your club performance report. And for the district, it looks like this, the bottom picture. But if we dig a little deeper and click on your club, exactly, it'll bring up your club report card. We have to talk about Pathways adoption rate. This button is available for us on District Central to share us how we're doing in that Toastmasters educational program. So again, there are different windows into different things, but they give you so much. You are not alone, and you'll never be without, because if the question that you have, I promise you, in Toastmasters International and amongst your peers, the answer is there. Okay. All righty. So that was the district responsibilities, kind of in a nutshell. I want to talk about the events. One of the things for events, and I'm going to click on that link in a bit, but one of the things I want to make sure you hear and know prior to, if, like I said, when you leave today, please know this. Again, everything is at your fingertips, even the district events. I love the Toastmasters International's handbook, the district leadership handbook, because it gives you a timeline, and it is so intuitive and so laid out. So I know we are techie now. I'm still high touch instead of high tech. So I love to pull out the book. I will pull out the hard copy book, and I will go straight to the calendar to be able to keep me on pace. Matter of fact, I did that last night, and I typed up a few things to keep and send to Ben, because we're supposed to be our checkmate person. So I sent to Ben and say, hey, I'm looking at the book, and here we are at the end of November and December. The book says, and I sent it to her. So again, the thing I love about it is everything is always there for you in Toastmasters International. For me, it's in the book. I grabbed the hard copy, but this is available to you as well. And it's the 222 District Leadership book I have down here at the bottom. Click on that link. And this is the first couple of pages. I think it's like page 25 through 31. But that timeline is there to kind of keep everybody on pace. The great thing about it, the colored circles tell you who it belongs to, whether it's the district leader, the area director, division director, PQD, so forth and so on. So this is a gem. Just know that 222, your district leadership handbook, whether electronic or physical hard copy, is your Bible for the district leadership. So you have all these responsibilities, but you have everything, again, fingertips on the computer, or your fingertips by swatching pages, passing pages in a book. Everything, some of the events I want to point out for the district's responsibility for the district leadership is the events, is your district conference, the district elections, all the way down to the club elections, speech contests, and district visits. So I pulled out these 4 because these 4 are listed in the district leadership handbook, bolded. So everything, there are a lot more, but they fall under these 4 umbrellas, if you will. The district conference, the elections, the speech contest, and then the district visits. So just to kind of expound on the events, I'm gonna go to this, and hopefully a delay, but should come up. Be the website. So that's what you're seeing on the screen.
There we go.
No? Oh, okay. So the district event. So again, everything you want to know, whether it falls under a conference, a speech contest. And the great thing is it doesn't stop here. It actually goes on. So you can be in the middle of a screen and you're reading about speech contests, and maybe it'll have a link to say, hey, here is the speech contest rule book. So there's even more information you can gather. But some of the things you want to focus on is that wherever you want to go on the district events, they'll give you something more. District events even has a frequently asked questions. Some of the events that falls under district is the district council that I mentioned a little earlier, the district council meetings, whether it's an area or division, or district council meeting. Let's go to district council meeting. Some of them want to know a little bit more what happens in a district council meeting, or can the first council meeting be conducted in person? So the council meeting also has stipulation rules and regulations where you do some of your district council meetings. I believe there's 4 times a year. So there's a quarterly one. There's one that's supposed to happen quarterly. But what do I do during the quarter? Why are we having so many? I thought it was just 2. So there are things behind it that if you don't know the answer to, if someone questions you, why are we having 4? Kim Kildoff asked me that question. Why are we having 4? I thought there was only 2, spring and fall. But there's more. So, and it tells you what should be shared in those district council meetings quarterly, and it shares with you when it should be done in person and when can it be done in person and or virtually. So again, the guidance is here. You're never alone in district leadership when you have to take on the responsibility of putting an event together, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, so I wanted to click on the district visits just to show what's behind here and expand a little bit on it, and then we'll move forward. And again, just wait for the delay because I changed it. So I'm just waiting for it to come up. Just shake your head if it did. I mean, if it did or didn't. We're up. Excellent. So again, the district visits. So when I say district visits, a lot of people think, oh, area club visits. No, I want to talk about the district. I mean, that's in here too, don't get me wrong. But the district visits, as the district leaders, they have a responsibility as well to welcome others into our district and visit us as a whole district, as opposed to just the area directors visiting the clubs. So this is where I'm talking about the international officers and directors and the regional advisor. So they have the hierarchy. Again, the district leaders have a region over top of the district. So the region comes in and they help because they're here for support. And then you have the international officers and directors that come in and help you strategically. One is operations, one is strategy, if that makes sense. So those are the things I wanted to consider too. So again, a district leader taking on the responsibilities of putting an event together to get a visit from a regional advisor or an international officer or director has to know what to do, what steps they need to take, the checklist they need to follow. Again, there's a link to the checklist on what they need to do in order to get an international director or officer and a regional advisor to visit the district. So a lot of times I ran into that. So I'm gonna go back to the slide. I ran into that thinking, okay, I'm gonna call so-and-so. We just talked the other day. I know they'll come and see us, but I'm like, oh, they gave me a brick wall. Hey, you gotta follow these protocols. Like, oh, I thought my good looks were gonna do it, but no. So that's some of the things, again, a responsibility of an event, which is the district visits that we as a district leadership would have to take on. And I speak it to all of the district leaders, from the area director to the PQD to the public relations manager, even the finance manager and the logistics manager. Some of those other odd outside of the district known trio that has to be a part of this as well. Because I'm going to pull on the logistics manager at the district level. Hey, help me set up the venue or whatever the case may be. Can you put the Zoom event together? That type of thing. And even the PRM. Hey, can you advertise this? Put us out there. What social media avenues are we going to tap into? So those type of things. All righty. So I'm going to pause there before I go to the next slide and ask, are any questions about the district conference, election, speech contest, district visits, or even the handbook itself, the events or responsibilities? All righty. Let's press forward. Oh, Kathy Lovemore.
How often should a district expect a international director visit versus a regional advisor visit?
So from my experience, when I was in as a district leadership just last year, we had the international reach out to us to come and visit us. So we hadn't had one since then since Elizabeth. So I believe, and I remember when I inquired about it, how often did it come? At that point, it was every, at least a 2-year span in between. But again, that was someone just kind of answering my question. I would have to look it up to be 100% sure. But I know we didn't have one. We had Elizabeth as a district director, and when I came, we had an international director or what's my word? Officer come and visit us. When Elizabeth was I believe we had Reggie Ford when he was an international director. So just going by that, 2 years apart. But I'm gonna write it down so I can ask that.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Was Reggie Ford our region advisor?
He was, and he was also an international director.
So he visited us as an international director? As well as a regional advisor. That's
correct.
Okay.
When he was a regional advisor, he visited us to do an award. He gave us our award, CMS. CMS received the corporate award recognition, corporate recognition award. And I believe he then gave, he came as a guest speaker for one of the conferences as an international director. Good questions. I love it. I'm definitely going to check on the time span what that is. So I'm just going by what I experienced the 2 years, but I'm gonna find out for sure. Good question. All right. All right. Anything else? If not, we're going to press forward. Let me check the time. Okay, good timing. All right. So again, this is a short. I just wanted to expand on the responsibilities and the events of the district, just making sure that everyone knew when you're ready to step up into district leadership, you don't have to feel like a floundering fish out of water. I mean, it's going to feel like that anyway, but just know you have so many tangibles to grab onto in order to help you through it. I'm a reader. So one of the things they always said was, if they put it in a book and hide, if you want to hide it from somebody, put it in a book. That wouldn't be me, because I am a reader. I'm inquisitive. I want to know. I don't understand. I might say, teach me like I'm a 6-year-old, because that sentence didn't make sense. But definitely, if you are one to want to know and you don't want to feel like that flounder or fish out of water, the internet. Type in your search word, and then the books, they are plentiful in Toastmasters. So just read, it's in there. I promise you, the incident you're going through now is happened somewhere else, whether it's abroad over waters or right next door in Virginia. But I say that to say this: if you are looking to step up and test out district leadership, if you feel that you are a leader and you are all for helping someone else grow, because that's what it is about leadership. Mainly for me, it's about others minded. It's about being others minded and always wants to see someone else grow. I love somebody come back and say it was because of you. I tell them quick, hey, no problem, I help you where I can. Just make sure you come back and get my flowers while I'm living. But definitely, if you are all about helping someone else and you can see yourself doing something else for someone else and being able to give them some direction and feel good about it, then definitely district leadership here in District 18 may just be for you. I just wanted to show how do I apply 3 steps of becoming a district leader, whether it's area division or club growth program quality director or district director. Everything is on the District 18 website. They have the application, the nomination form. The nomination form is where you can self-nominate, or you can nominate someone you think would be an excellent district leader. Officer agreement, you do have to sign agreement and a release form, because you are now handling a little bit more personal information of others. You are seeing a little bit more things on a different scope with the organization. So you have to sign that form. The district leader qualification and competencies. So they have that list there too. It's nothing you have to fill out, but it's great information to know. It tells you what competencies and skills you should already have. And then it's going to also share with you the skills and competencies that they're going to help you grow in these positions. So keep those things in mind. Qualifications and responsibilities is also a form you want to have in front of you, so you'll know what they are going to be looking for. When I say they, it says send email to the DLC. We have the honor of having Kathy Lovemore has sat on a DLC board before, if not led one, but she's sat on one where she experienced where she had to actually interview someone. And that's what the District 18 that I know, that's what they do currently. They actually, you get, you show your interest and then they reach out to you just to ask you a few questions about the position that you're applying for, just like an interview. And that's what Toastmasters International Table Topics preps us for, is to prep us for an interview. So why wouldn't we put that in our procedures in the district to kind of put those table topics moments to test? So these are the way, again, how do I apply? You would go to District 18's website and click on conferences and candidate nominations. I don't know if they're going to change that, but that's where it is currently. It's under conferences. Go ahead, Nora.
Yeah, it's actually, when I found it earlier, you went to conferences, then business meetings.
Okay.
And then there's a link for candidate declaration nominations.
Right.
And then you brought to that page, you had highlighted, you had moved your cursor over one of those links so you could see the actual full path. It's something like District 18 nominations or something like that. If you can put your cursor over one of those links again, we can see it. So you could write down the
path. Yep.
You see it. It's District -18 officer
candidate.
So that'll, if you just write that down, that'll give you a direct
link
entry into the page.
Perfect, perfect. And another thing is, I do know, and I don't know how soon, but they do, I know that deadline is the soft deadline is the 15th of December to get your applications in. And then the hard deadline we have to stop, I believe, is the 15th of January. So the great thing.
15th,
Oh,
not
the 30th?
31st?
Did they move to the 31st?
Okay, I heard the 31st, but that's
Okay.
something that should probably be clarified.
Okay, yep, I'll clarify, but if you're in the district
But get
leadership
your
now.
application in early, folks.
Yes, don't wait to the 31st. That's why we say the 15th. So, but Nora, you're there because you're with district leadership now. You heard Ben and them say the 31st, and that's probably the deadline. But I would definitely not wait to the last minute. Definitely the 15th of January should be your targeting point. I would share that. The great thing about it is, I believe in December, January, definitely in December, that they will have an easy, fast link on the front or the home page, the landing page of District 18. So it's an easy access. Go ahead, Nora.
Sorry to keep asking these questions.
No, please do.
I recall asking someone about this before, but in the past, I know that candidates could run from the floor for elected positions. However, I believe they've changed that requirement that you do have to declare yourself
Correct.
through this process
That's
by
correct.
January 31st.
That's correct.
You can't just show up the day of the business meeting and say, hey, I'm running from the floor. And I thought that was something that the district changed, or is that a Toastmasters International change?
That's a Toastmasters International policy change. That's correct. So thank you for that. You cannot.
No surprises.
Yep, no surprises. You have to declare intent. And even if you decide not to stand up on that day of the elections and you decide you're not going to do it, that's fine. But if you decide you're going to stand up and say, yes, I'm going to do it, you would have already declared your intent that you were going to do that. So yes, that is very critical point, and I'm sure that will be on the homepage too.
So yeah, so really the piece of advice is that if you're even considering it, get your application in no later than January 31st. And you can always withdraw it later.
Always withdraw it later. That's correct. Kathy, you're up.
Okay, couple questions. With with someone nominating you, is the protocol that you would think that you would tell that person that they're being nominated, or what's that process?
Please do. Don't surprise anyone, because it makes it harder on everyone involved, because the DLC committee is going to reach out to that person and say, congratulations, you've been nominated.
I'll just nominate everyone in my club.
And then my next question is, for the interviews for the TRIO, the Club Growth, Program Quality, and District Director, are there scenarios that you provide to each of the candidates and things that they may encounter in those respective offices?
Offices. So I can only speak for myself, Kathy, and I would say this, yes. One of the things I would do, and I do, is kind of get the committee together, and we would discuss some of the things that we were going to do, or at least give them the timeline of what we're looking for, your expectations, and then how many, or whatever the case may be, the timeline, the people, the panel, and everything. But at the same time, I would say, well, when I reach out to so-and-so, I want to let them know what to expect. I don't want any surprises, because they're already nervous. And then I will also direct them to please look over your district leadership qualification and responsibilities and your competencies. Those things there will assist you in being able to prep yourself. Whatever program, whichever position you're going for, dig into the district leadership handbook and learn about it. Know what you're going for, just as if you were going for a job interview. You want to know, because when you leave, you want to be able to ask us some questions on what we should expect if you were to be a member of the team.
Okay, and then my next question is, and I know it varies depending upon what the situation is, but I'll just lump it in as the TRIO. For the TRIO positions, on an average, how many hours a week, or I'll say even month, depending, would you expect, or is the expectation for the TRIO in terms of doing their Toastmasters district work?
Okay, so again, Right. So I'll speak to my experience. So when I first started it, I'm going to say I was starting as an area director. When I learned a little bit more about it and saw what I had to do, I saw myself doing an hour a day, every day. So that was me putting something in place. So if you weigh that out, what's that, 30 hours, 30 days? Okay, let me make it more realistic, 21 hours a month, because I probably did it during the weekday more so than the weekend. So 21 hours as an area director. I bumped that up a half for every other thing. So every time I went up, I added another 30 minutes. So as a division director, it was an hour 30. And then when I became a club growth director, it was 2 hours. When I became a PQD, because now it's more so managing people within the district, my members, and helping and supporting them, I bumped that up another 30 minutes. So it was 2.5. And then at the district level, when I became a district director, I made sure I had no less than 3 hours a day towards my duties as a Toastmaster.
Okay, so those hours that you just gave us is hours per week?
Mine was hours per day. So I would carve out, just like if I was going to my 8 to 5 or my 9 to 5 at work, I would carve out 3 hours, whether it be 1 in the morning and 2 in the evening. That was me. I did 1 in the morning before I started by 9 to 5, and I did the 2 in the evening as a district director.
So PQD, program quality director, expected, roughly 2.5 hours per day.
Yes.
And then club growth director, 2 hours per day.
Yes. And my 2 hours per day for my club growth director was my answers actually midday and evening. Only because I wanted to catch people, because as a club growth director, I was reaching out to people outside of the organization. So right. You have to, so think about your position and what it's requiring you to do in order to dictate when you utilize those hours throughout the day.
And also thinking, if we're still virtual next year, I mean, if we're not virtual, we're hybrid or whatever, the club growth director may have to spend more hours for travel and all that. Mm-hmm.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions. Mm-hmm. Nora, you had your hand up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to jump off shortly for another meeting, but wouldn't there be economies of scale? If you're starting at area director and then you move up to the next position, you've put things in place that can make you more efficient. So maybe it doesn't quite scale that way, because that's kind of
a lot.
That might be frightening for some people to think that, you know what, I'm never going to have 3 hours a day.
And that's why I preference it to say that's me. Just remember, I'm over the top.
Okay, so this you think is the upper boundary of time, like with maybe 95% confidence interval, upper boundary. Your mileage may vary though. If you have systems in place to become more efficient. Yeah, this is why I think it's a good idea to start club officer, then area director, then division director, and progress upward, because you learn something at each step of the way that makes you more efficient. And you may even have a slew of templates in place that makes your job seamless. So, all right, so I'm going to make sure I tell people that I think 3 hours is the absolute upper boundary if you're incredibly
available,
like Cynthia.
Yeah, right. So yeah, definitely. If you've already talked to and considered family, work, and your availability, if you have that time to jump to the unexpected, all of that, it encompasses that. So again, the only thing that would change it if we go back to in person, where you have to do travel now, will add to that time. So I would say that is definitely on the upper number. That's the high end, but definitely consider your 40 hours of a regular job. I would say probably do a third to Toastmasters a week if you can, on the low end. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So let's close it out with this. And I'll let everybody go. Let me see what I got. Yeah. So this, I just wanted to say, a couple of things. I don't have time for Q&A because we did it throughout, but don't think of it as a requirement for your ALS or your DTM. Think of what leadership skills will develop and how you can help others grow. The other one is if you are a district leader or thinking about being a district leader and you feel a bit overwhelmed or unprepared, relax. You are neither alone, nor is this unusual. Any transition to a new role brings some trepidation and fear. All that means is that you are just concerned about doing a great job and that you care, and we respect that. So I appreciate it. So just wanted to leave you with some resources. That's what's on the slide. And just to share with you what we're going to do next week. Next week is we're going to do a deep dive into the recap. Hopefully we can get more people on. They can kind of capture that. But here are some resources and all the resources within. All this is on the district. Again, this PowerPoint and the recording will be on the district website. And I believe we can reach out to Kathleen Davis to find out when and how. But thank you guys for joining Train 'em Up Tuesdays. And I'm here if anyone has questions afterwards. If not, go ahead and jump off. But thank you for showing up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ekta. You got a question?
Right. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you if we nominate somebody, and if they don't want to be nominated, then what should we do? If
Oh, no
we
worries.
if we nominate and they don't want to be leader in role, any role.
So the one thing you're going to do is when you grab the paper and probably write their name out on the paper because you want to nominate them, is call them. Get in touch with them and let them know, I really think you would be a great asset to the district. I think your leadership skills are awesome, and I would love to nominate you to be an area director or whatever the case may be. And then let them tell you, I don't have the time, but I thank you for nominating me. I'm just going to respectfully decline.
Okay.
But definitely have the conversation with them before you forward their name up.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Sure.
Kathy?
Just a suggestion, if you want possibly more people to attend the last session, is if you could do another flyer, slightly different, and have that posted on Facebook and hopefully on the website. I'm not sure because I know B is out right now, but at least on the Facebook page.
So the flyer
have it a little bit different than what it is now, so people know it's, this is last chance. Yeah.
Okay, last chance at the recap, something to that effect. Okay.
Yep.
And then I do have a list of names that I captured on a couple of the last meetings we had from a Sunday or Monday or training. I'm going to shoot that to Kathleen and ask her to personally invite them.
That would be good.
Okay.
That would be good.
I will get that flyer out to them today. All right. So thank you, ladies.
Nice.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Great meeting. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye now.
See you next Tuesday.